What's up, Cuzzy Wuzzies? You're listening to the Bay Ridge Boys, History Hyenas. Bad.
Hello, my mic is not on. We gotta start that over.
Why?
Because my mic was off.
Is it on right now?
Yeah.
Well, let's just keep going.
Huh?
Let's just keep going. You started off and the mic was off. It's just what happens on the Hyenas.
Yeah.
Sometimes you start the podcast and the mic's off. So if you heard a little dead air, the reason is because Zach didn't turn Hyenas' mic on because, make no mistake, he's not Jack today.
No, what happens is sometimes when he's typing on the keyboard, he gets confused looking at the fingers and looking at the keys.
Yeah.
Because on his finger, he'll have an E, but the typewriter will have a C, and then he'll type an E instead of a C.
It's just what it is.
Yeah, he gets confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the History Hyenas. I am Freddie Feta Cheese, and that is Chrissy. Pick up the baby.
Chrissy, pick up the baby to stuff. But no, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode. We have a wild episode today. We don't have Godfrey on, so it's going to be all right. Yeah, Godfrey's episode was fucking wild.
And how's your temperature right now?
My your
personal body temperature, low grade, or are we norm 98.7?
I'm normal, but swaying towards low grade because I've already had a day and it's not even 220.
Yeah, so you're probably about 99.2.
And 99.2, and I cancel what I'm doing for tonight because make no mistake, the baby is by my mother's house and I just want to go to a place where everybody's white.
And if we are not able, I'm just going to bring a falafel into the studio soon.
Yeah, we're not allowed to eat in this studio because it's just stupid fucking rules. Make no mistake, there's a lot of people that go around every single day and just do stupid things based on tradition and live by stupid rules that actually make no sense, but they're not looking deep enough inside themselves to just be like, why am I even doing this? They're just doing it. You have to think outside the box.
Yeah, well, Bobby's trying to set some rules for his day. So for at least an hour or two when he does his podcast, he sets a rule that he can't eat because for the other couple hours of the day, the many, he's eaten.
Well, I heard that it's not Bobby's rule. It's the Jew that owns this rule.
Yeah.
It's just truth.
Yeah. Okay, so that definitely we can do a Jew voice for him because he's an actual Jew.
He's an actual Jew.
So he says, I don't want any falafels up here because then the mice crawl upstairs and then boogity, 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 boo.
And here's the thing. Here's how the rules work, okay? If you want to do podcasts, which he's doing a podcast, he does, Noam, the owner of the Comedy Cellar, does a podcast.
Yeah.
And he does it on, I believe,
he does it on
Riotcast. Riotcast, which is what we're on.
And nobody's interested in it.
Well, the thing is this: if you want to come on and do a podcast, then you have to be open to taking shots.
Yeah.
If you want to cross the line and be a comedian and be an entertainer, then you're just, you know what I mean? You're basically just stepping into the arena.
Exactly.
So whatever you want to say.
And I just gave him a nice quick shot, bang, bang, and makes no mistake, I don't care because I don't work here.
I care, and I do work here, so I love you, Noam. Good hummus.
And if Bobby says anything about the fact that we're eating falafels in here, what are you going to give him?
I'm going to give him a 1-2-3 combo, and then I'm going to give him a right hand to the stomach and watch his shorts fall down like he's in Tyson's Punch-Out.
Yeah, Bobby just looks like Butterbean if Butterbean never boxed.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
Yeah,
it's just what it is. And because Mike Emoji Face, Mike Mush right now is in San Antonio still, he can't get over the wall. And Zach Isis is here with more tattoos on his fingers.
Yeah, he's just, have you ever tried to type on your finger by accident? Like your left hand saw your right hand and tried to type on it?
Never, not yet.
Your mic's not on.
Yeah, cause Jesus Christ.
Turn it on, man. It's feedback.
Oh yeah. So, so you know what? We're not going to be able to hear Isis this episode. That's a big loss.
It's just what it is.
The fans are going crazy.
At what point do we just say we're not coming into the studio anymore? We're just going to have ISIS come out, set up the mics for us, and we're just going to press the Wei Shan-Chi and buttons on our own?
Cause
at what point do we just say we're cutting out the travel?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. We'll only come in and do guests.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting sick and tired of being in here for 4 hours.
What we're going to do is me and you are just I'm going to get a new apartment, like I told you. Because,
what you said, yeah.
Yeah, I got to spend all my savings for another down payment for a bigger place for my wife. And hopefully it works out. Maybe it will, because deep down, I'm fucking stupid.
You're fucking stupid.
I should just stay in this place until I can afford something bigger. But right now, I'm going to put down all my savings on a bigger apartment. And what we could do with my current apartment is turn it into a studio and kidnap Mike Emoji Face and Zach Isis and just force them to live there.
Cuz, did you get the new apartment? Did you put an offer in?
Cuz I'm putting offers in, but we need to start a fucking History Hyena sweatshop immediately.
Yeah, well, what's the deal with your guy that talks too much on the phone?
Which guy?
Elvis.
Yeah.
The guy who's the t-shirt guy who needs to just who needs to just speak when spoken to. And when I say what colors are the shirts, I want to put out on the website immediately. I don't want to know about what your day is and what the plan is for your 5-year business plan, because my 5-year business plan is to use you for as much as I can and then fucking disconnect my phone and have you never talk to me again, because make no mistake, I'm going to be a superstar and I will forget the little people.
And you also in 5 years have dreams and goals to become an amateur boxer.
Yeah, and because
when's your first fight going to be?
Because my first fight's probably going to be in child support court. No, my first fight. I don't know. We'll do it when we get to 1,600 Patreon members, which go to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. We're going to throw Sweet 16 at the Ridgewood Moose Lodge on Grand Avenue in Ridgewood, Queens. And I think when we get to 2,500 Patreon members, I'll have my first fight.
Yeah.
I'll fight a Patreon member.
By the way, the Patreon draft has started. # Team Special because I need a falafel.
Team Special needs Stamos and Team Chrissy D Cups.
Yeah, those are the two teams, and we're off. The first game has begun. Go to our Instagram at History Hyena. If you're on one of our teams and you were drafted, you have your assignment for the week. You got till Friday to submit your videos. The winner gets to crack open and clean out Zach Isis.
It's just what it is. And if you guys are looking for some road dates, go to christycomedy.com. I got a lot of road dates coming up. I got Boston. I got New Hampshire. I got Portland, Maine. I got Phoenix, Arizona. I got a bunch of ones coming up. Ohio, christycomedy.com. And for Hyenas, you should go to Hyenaspappas.net. Where you going to be, Hyenas?
Yo, Hyenaspappas.net is down right now. I got a new website going up.
Coming up.
So just follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and I got no dates coming up right now.
It's just what it is.
It's just
let's
what it is.
Make no mistake. Your one wish from Santa should just be for a career.
Yeah, right now I got one leg out of the business.
Yeah, well, but it's no.
I got one. Look what my shirt is.
Yeah, you got a Soul Joel Richardson shirt on, which is he's our dear friend Soul Joel Richardson, Kung Fu Panda, Frank Sabine show, great kid. We're gonna do some of his gigs again this summer. But make no mistake,
I'm about to put a tour on with him because make no mistake, I'm going back to Soul Joel gigs exclusively.
It's just what it is because you got a wife and she doesn't understand. She's gonna start to be like, my daddy was a doctor and I would point at things and I would have them. So why can't I have an apartment? And you're gonna say, babe, we're gonna get you that apartment, but it's gonna have to be through Soul Joel.
It's going to have to be through Soul Joel and private birthday parties where I put the Maurice wig on.
Because you're going to have to put a lot of people eat off that wig through Great Word Surgery Cone. But what I will say, let me say this, even though it's going to be coming out, I know this episode's out Thursdays for our non-toots who have went to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. For our fucking full-blown prostitutes that are listening to this episode for free, you'll hear this on Sunday. Either way, Hyenas would have already recorded his hour special. Andrew Schultz presents Hyenas Pappas Blowing the Light.
Yeah.
Which
I put caught in a blowy gassy is it's a fucking eggplant I want to put in my mouth.
Yeah, which called Paulie Gassy, aka Paulie Vitamins. Yeah, he thinks that's a little gay, but he have filmed his special, and then once that thing hits, I mean, it's just going to be a different Yanni P. It's going to be dates. It's going to just be back to fucking Yanni tickets.
We don't know what's going to happen, but I do want to say thank you to everyone who bought tickets.
Sold out. Both shows sold out.
Sold out on a Tuesday in 13 days.
And you offered me to come open the show for you, which was very kind. I would have done it, but make no mistake, what did I have to do?
Pick up the baby.
So I was with the baby.
Chrissy, pick up the baby. So, this is going to come out after I shot it. So,
Right.
if it went good, it went good. But thank you for everybody who bought tickets. I appreciate it. And thank you, Andrew Schultz. Thank you, Emilio. Thank you, New York Comedy Club.
Yes.
Thank you, Amy. And I don't know how it went. Right now, I'm talking in the future, so I think it went good.
I'm going to tell you it went good. Okay?
It went good, yeah.
It went good. It went well. So we're having a lot of fun on this podcast. It's a lot of, we have, interviews coming up, and we were trying to get to this last week because, we're make no mistake, we're history hyenas. So we love to talk about history, but we're also fucking hyenas. So sometimes it goes off the rails.
Sometimes.
But you brought this up, the book that Mrs. Pappas got both of us, because make no mistake, you have two wives. You have your wife, Mrs. Pappas, and then you have your wife, Mrs. DiStefano.
Yeah.
So she got us both this book, which is about true Bay Ridge crime stories.
Yeah.
And what we discovered is one story, a famous kidnapping case, Charlie Ross, who was the first big kind of celebrity kidnapping case, actually even before the Lindenberg baby.
Yeah.
So this was the first one. So we know we found some interesting ways how it connects to Bay Ridge.
Yeah, very interesting story. Charlie Ross, little baby.
I'm saying Charlie Rose, but it's Charlie Ross because make no mistake, I'm fucking stupid.
You're fucking stupid.
Yeah, because make no mistake, I just want to say this real quick. For the third weekend in a row, another one of our Patreon members got cracked open and cleaned out. It's 3 in a row. At number 4, you know who's coming. I'm coming to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. You know who you are. Get cracked open.
Yeah, because we're the only podcast where we have a very intimate relationship with some of our fans via Chrissy D's piece.
Yeah, I'm going to just say this. If I cracked you open and cleaned you out and you're willing and able to share a story of how it went on the Patreon, go ahead, post it. I don't mind. Go ahead and post it on the community board. If you got cracked open and cleaned out by Chrissy D, and if I said, hey, babe, suck your dick, the only way it's going to get hard if you suck my dick, babe, just do it. I don't care.
Yeah, we already found out from the great
Christina Hutchinson. Shout out Christina Hutchinson. Shout out, guys. We fucked.
Yeah.
Friends of the show.
Yeah, by the way, guys, on our Patreon, all our interview episodes, we have Gaffigan up there.
Oh, my God,
we
Jimmy
got
G.
Tank Sinatra up there. We've had Rachel Feinstein, Joe List. Who else?
Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz, Ben
Kissel, who was the snoozer. Andrew Schultz.
No, Ben Kissel was great.
I'm kidding. It was all about wrestling.
It was great. It was wrestling, so a lot of girls didn't get it.
Yeah, a lot of girls.
But, but the guys loved it.
We'll have Jared Freed up there. J-Train. We'll have Nimesh Patel.
It's just a nonstop. We're probably Ari Shafir. We're forgetting a few.
Ari Shafir was up there.
But here's the deal.
Are you going to go to Ari Shafir's barbecue tomorrow?
I got to see what's up. But here's the deal. If you go to our patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys channel, where our matriarchy continues to grow, we have fun games. We got a Patreon draft going on. We got videos. That's how you really support us. Guys, in 2019, you can get the content you want if you support it. It's a beautiful thing. We got what are we up to? 600 and
something.
70-something fucking hyenas.
And we got small business sponsors, which we're going to get to in a little bit.
Yeah. And so you can go join and become a $10 member and get those interview episodes for a month before they're released to the low-eating toots. If you're a toot, that means you're a low-ranking member of the cackle, and you eat after the matriarchy members eat first.
It's what it is.
And we're fucking screwed in goddamn kids.
You're a screwed in kid. Let's talk about Charlie Ross.
So Charlie Ross.
Or Rose.
Yeah,
is it Charlie Rose or Ross?
It's Ross, you fucking stupid
Charlie Rose
German.
took his pants off and jerked off and got fired.
He did, right?
But then Charlie Ross was kidnapped and then... Yeah, let's just talk about it.
So Charlie Ross is the first ransom kidnapping recorded in American history.
Right.
And we're going to take you all the way back to summer of 1874.
What a good summer.
In the summer of 1874. And we know white babies are valuable.
Yes.
The cops will look for a white baby.
Yeah, a white baby, that's worth a lot of money.
Especially a rich person's white baby.
Yeah.
The detectives and police were on call for this one.
Because since everything had to be hand sewn back in the summer of 1874, it would have, my pants would have cost a pretty penny because make no mistake, I would have an above average size butt for the normal person of that time.
Yeah. Let's just call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is.
You would have been someone who would have done a kidnapping like this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had it in your heart to do it.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have been a guy who rose up the ranks of society back then.
Not back then, no. I would have been a Civil War casualty, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I somehow miraculously survived the Civil War, I without a doubt, would have had syphilis on my cock and balls because no condoms, but I would have still been going raw dog on these girls. And I would have probably, because comedy wasn't available, physical therapy wasn't invented yet, I wouldn't know what to do, so I probably would just start kidnapping babies.
Yeah, but let's be honest. You only got into physical therapy and comedy in modern times because, at the beginning, you got into physical therapy because you wanted to be close to Filipino boys.
Yeah.
And then you got into comedy because you wanted to be close to Puerto Rican girls.
Yeah.
So back then, neither one of those things was available because Filipinos hadn't come here yet.
Yeah.
And Puerto Ricans, this was before Maria.
Yeah.
This is before West Side Story.
Yeah.
So your two favorite things didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
So you just would have been a fireman.
I would have been a firefighter, and I would have been a fireman or a cop, and I would have been a criminal. I would have kidnapped people.
And you would have been right. Yeah, they wouldn't have had a uniform that you could fit that fucking Aunt Jemima ass into.
It's just what it is. So what happened with Charlie Ross? He was playing outside one day. What was he doing?
Guys, let's just start with the expression, don't play with strangers.
No, don't take candy from strangers.
Oh, God, cuz I need a falafel.
You need a falafel. Don't take candy from strangers is a saying that actually derives from the Charlie Rose kidnapping case, or Charlie Ross, whichever way you want to say it.
Can you say Charlie Ross and then I could say things right? Because we're off today.
We're off today. But my eyes are burning. I got itchy eyes from my allergies.
Yeah, my nose is burning too. I need some saline solution to clean it out.
Yeah, I got to hit my neti pot. Bit.
So Charlie Ross, the expression "don't take candy for strangers"
From strangers, not from strangers.
From strangers.
Fucking stupid fuck.
Do not take candy from strangers comes from Charlie Ross's story. That's right. So what happened is Charlie Ross was a 4-year-old kid.
Yeah.
He was a 4-year-old kid, and he had a fucking brother who was a 5-year-old kid.
Yeah, because make no mistake, those are called Irish twins.
Yeah.
When you just get pregnant and then have the baby and then immediately have another baby.
Yeah.
Those are just called Irish twins.
As soon as mommy gets sewed back up, you just push the piece right back in and make another baby for Catholic Jesus.
Because make no mistake, you're going to have multiple sets of Irish twins because you're getting close to dying.
Yeah, I'm
getting
close.
too old.
Yeah, I'm fucking retired now.
Yeah, because you're just going to have to, unfortunately now, Mrs. Pappas, because when you get married, what the rules are of this great country, and not that I ever forget the laws and rules of this great nation, unless there's reporters outside, then I will forget them and I'll take everybody physically.
Beyond that fence.
I'll
put my dog back first.
I'll put my dog back first and I'll take everybody physically, you fucking crumbs. But unfortunately, your wife doesn't have any rights anymore.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a baby right now and put it in her, then you're just going to hold her down and do it.
Yeah, that's just what it is, right?
That's what it is. She doesn't have rights.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Charlie Ross was born in 1870 in the Philadelphia area. Where,
oh wow, to Philadelphia.
Yeah, he was born in a Philadelphia area in a place called Germantown.
Oh, it's Germantown. Yeah, it sounds like me. Now, do you think he was he born closer to the Wooter?
Over here we say water. Over there you say water.
Over here it's the Smithtown Water Department.
Yo, shout out to the Smithtown Water Department.
Smithtown Water Department. Over there it's the Germantown Water Department.
I just want to say hello to the boys out there at the Smithtown Water Department. You're doing fine work. Thank you for the water.
Thank you for the water. I need a water. And if you're in Germantown and Philadelphia area listening, thank you so much for the water.
Thanks so much for your water.
So he grew up in Germantown, which is close to the water in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's close to the water, and what it is Germantown, which is now just part of Philadelphia because
it's just
all these cities keep expanding. But back then, just like Bay Ridge used to be like a vacation spot for rich people.
It used to be a village, an actual village.
Yeah, with like fucking cows and sheep.
Yeah, farmland.
It was farmland, and a lot of rich people lived here, and we're going to get to that. Because what this story goes to Bay Ridge, like we'll tell you.
Yeah, it's going to get to Bay Ridge and it's going to get wild.
Yeah, it gets fucking wild. And it gets to a rich person's house. But Germantown back then was a suburb of Philadelphia because Philadelphia was smaller.
Yeah, it was smaller. Even though right now Philadelphia is one of the biggest geographical cities in our country, back then it was just a little smaller and it was by the water.
Yeah, it was by the water.
Yeah.
So Charlie Ross was...
Well, now, do you know, just real quick, what date was he born?
He was born on May 4th, 1870.
Do you know if that was a Tuesday?
That could have been a Tuesday.
Was it a Tuesday or was it a Wednesday?
It could have been a Tuesday, and his parents could have been him.
Were they him? Do you think, okay, let me just ask you this last thing, then we'll get to it. I know, because we know he's going to get kidnapping. Do you think he could have potentially been kidnapped because his dad was distracted because he was eating a hoogie?
He could have been eating... He could have been eating a hoogie, or his dad could have been distracted and been the phone.
Yeah, or maybe he was trying to get reception and watch the Philadelphia Eagles.
Or maybe he was drinking a Diet Coke.
Maybe he was making Diet Coke. Or maybe there was good for nothing Sandy coming in the back.
All right, that's what you call it.
All right,
that's what you call a Sandra D coming out of left field.
Yeah, that's a surprise Sandra D, a Pearl Harbor Sandra D.
Yeah, that was a Pearl Harbor Sandra
What
D.
happened last week when the video guy just came in unannounced.
Yeah, incoming,
Sandra D.
Yeah,
to the left.
Because that was a hilarious. That was like a relief pitcher marching out of left field.
Yeah, he went rogue. This guy,
Yeah,
he can't just come in.
We were talking about cooks and hoagies, and Sandra D just came into the story.
He just popped out. All right, go ahead.
So Charlie Ross and his brother Walter were 4 and 5 years old in 1874, right? And for a couple days, they were playing outside.
Because it's the summertime, you could play outside. It wasn't, you didn't have maniacs running around back then, so they thought.
And plus, you're living in Germantown, so they have German immigrants living there, and they were all well-to-do because the place was weed.
So you don't think anyone's going to get in there, but... Yeah. They're playing. They're having a good time. They're whatever. It's a lot of open space. It's a neighbor community. Got a lot of Germans out there just marching, kind of coming up with different ways to get different groups of people out of the way.
Yeah. Being German fucking scumbags.
Being German fucking snow monkeys.
Snow monkeys. Or in Germantown, they probably snoo monkeys.
Snoo monkeys.
So they were playing outside, and for a couple days before the fateful day in question, which was July 1st.
Okay.
Two guys, see? I mean, which I pictured when I was reading about this story, I just pictured the guys because one guy's name's Moshe and the other guy's name's Douglas.
Uh-oh, Moshe.
Yeah, Moshe.
That guy's screwed in.
So
He's screwed in Jew.
Yeah, so I just pictured them being kind of like those guys, see? Like, but this was actually the 1870s, see? So they weren't like, they weren't bad guys like in the movies in the 30s.
Yeah.
But they sound like it with their names, see?
Yeah.
So they were outside playing, and these two guys, Moshe and Douglas, came up and started offering these little kids candy.
Yeah, so let's just stop right there. If I was live in 1874 and somebody offered me candy, I'm getting in the wagon.
Yeah, you're just going to be a kid who's going to be abducted.
Because if you, as a little kid, if you just offered me candy, Puerto Rican toots, or a chance to throw hands, I'll get in your wagon.
Yeah, or a black and white cook.
Or a black and white cook.
Is that the Cantonese pronunciation?
Yeah.
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 Oh, and it's just what it is?
Yeah.
Do it again. Hit us again.
Because Cantonese just sounds funny, and it's just the way the cookie crumbles.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles. I'm fucking Chrissy Cookie Crumbles, and I support it.
Because,
right, so what happens? So he comes and he gets candy.
Yeah. So
Douglas, what's his name?
Douglas and Moisha.
Douglas and Moisha.
So they hatched a plan, these two,
These
right?
two hatched a plan, and make no mistake, it was probably masterminded by Moisha because the kid screwed in. He's a Jew.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to be Douglas, and I'm going to be Moisha. We're planning the kidnapping.
Okay. So you're Douglas.
I'll be Douglas, and you'll be Moisha.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, see, this is what we're going to do. Hey, I'm the dumb one. You're the Jew with the brain. So you tell me what you want me to do, Moisha.
Well, I think what would probably be best is, what has a lot of high value currency is little white babies.
You make a good point, see. Now, here's the deal, all right? I usually don't like Jews.
Yeah.
Okay, but you got a sharp mind and we need money because make no mistake, we're two fucking stupid kids.
Then let's go get a little baby. We'll give him some candy, maybe some baklava, and let me just put my creams on because I have rashes that pop up out of nowhere because I am Jewish.
Can you hit the Wei Shangxing button, Zach? Fucking
Wei Shangxing.
Yeah, even though he's speaking your language, you fucking jihadi.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Jihadi with a body.
Right, go ahead.
So they hatched a little plan, Moisha and Douglas, see? And they started giving these kids candy to warm them up. They were breaking them in.
Now, were these the first two kids that they sought out, do you think, or had they tried to seek out other kids?
They scoped out this kid because they knew his pops had a little bit of dough.
His pops had some dough. What's his pop? Now, how were you making dough back in those days? What was his pops do? I think his pops was probably making fucking horseshoes.
Now, Christian Ross, he owned a dry goods store. So these kids were fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he lived in a large house. He owned a store, but he wasn't like fucking loaded.
Yeah. He just had a little bit of money.
He had a little bit of money and he lived in a well-to-do area and they just picked these fucking
He was
kids.
mildly rich.
Yeah, and these two guys were career criminals.
Yeah.
Moshe and Douglas were career criminals. And
you have to Wei Shangxing what I just said.
What'd you just say?
I just said he was mildly rich.
Wei Shangxing.
Because you say so many wild things, I'm getting numb to it.
Yeah. So just give me another Wei Shang-chi because that's wild what I just said.
Yeah.
Beijing.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
But you
we
know
could
what?
maybe even cut that out.
Because people just know we're just kidding. We're just wild kids.
We're just wild kids. We're just kidding around.
Because we're the most fucking loving kids in the world, but we just can't turn off the wild button.
It's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, people have been telling us we might want to tone it down, and we just can't.
Yeah, just can't do it.
And it's just what it is. But we're joking. Wei Shang-chi and Wei Shang-chi.
Wei Shang-chi.
Es just el que es.
It's just what it is at this point.
It's just true.
So these two fucking kids, by the way, Moshe had syphilis or cancer in his nose.
Of his nose.
Yeah, so his nose was jacked up.
Because to get syphilis on your nose, you got to be a pretty dirty fucking guy.
Yeah, when Charlie Ross's brother Walter described Moshe to the cops later, which I'm about to get to, they described him as having a monkey nose.
Yeah.
So he had like a hook, fucking, all the cartilage was wrecked.
It was just gross.
It was like flat. He had a freaking syphilis out nose. But anyway, so these kids took the candy, told their pops about it. So their pops had heard about it. It's like, hey, these two guys gave us candy. But you got to remember, this was before it was an established thing where like you knew that like you don't take candy from strangers. If you're kids, you don't talk to strangers because there's pedophiles out there. There's fucking weird people out there, but mostly pedophiles.
Right.
But these kids were getting broken in by these two dumb career criminals who were just trying to get familiar with them so they could get a little comfortable. Yeah. So then a couple days later, they roll up to and see the kids playing outside.
Right.
And this is, remember, it was July. This is July
1874.
Yeah, this is July 1st. So 4th of July is coming up.
Probably a hot day.
Yeah. So Moshe says, hey, boys, how you doing? 4th of July is coming up. Do you guys want some firecrackers?
Yeah. Would you like some firecrackers? We also have some kadishes. And if you'd like, I know I have curls coming out of my hands because of my religion.
Zachy, please, please, Zach.
Wei Shang-chi.
Thank you. We got to clean the air, okay? Because when Chrissy talks, it gets cloudy in here.
Yeah, I'm
so
sorry.
You gotta clear the air with that fucking Wei Zhongjing button. If you're new to the podcast, Wei Zhongjing obviously means we're just kidding.
We're just kidding. We're just kidding. But go to patreon.com/BayRidgeBoys if you want to hear some things we say without the Wei Zhongjing button.
Es just el que es.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he says to the kids, would you like some firecrackers? And they're like, sure, mister, we want some firecrackers. We live near the water.
We live near the water. Yeah.
So the two 4- and 5-year-old kids are fucking stupid because they're kids. And plus it's 1874, so they don't think anything's amiss.
Yeah. They don't know what, and they don't know how to throw hands yet because Rocky wasn't born yet.
It wasn't born yet, and there wasn't a statue in the Philadelphia Museum to memorialize a fictional character.
Yeah. Yeah.
How fucking, can you let's just take a second to
real quick
appreciate.
about Philadelphia?
I mean, that would be like if New York had a statue of Christopher Walken from The King of New York.
Yeah, it's just out there, or like fucking Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, or somebody. What was a movie where a New Yorker was in there?
Roger Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit.
He's a New York kid.
Yeah, Philadelphia's just a little fucking weirder.
Yeah, they're just a little weirder down. Okay, so Charlie Ross and his brother Walter.
Yeah, they get into
are out there and they're trying to take candy from Douglas and Worcester.
Yeah, they already took the candy.
They took the candy and now they're on the way in his carriage.
Now it's like, get into the carriage and we're gonna go get you. We're gonna buy you guys
horse-drawn carriage, right?
Horse-drawn
At this
carriage.
time.
Yeah, I think it was a horse. Yeah.
It has to be horse-drawn.
Yeah, because we're talking about 1874.
Yeah, there's not cause yet.
They don't got cause. So he's like, we'll take you to the store and we'll get you guys some firecrackers. So the kids get in. Walter sits in the back. Charlie sits on the lap. I mean, can you imagine the time? The lap of the
my God
of I think Moshe,
one of the guys, which is just normal back then.
Yeah, I mean nobody's thinking anything. I mean,
but that was the time where you could have probably like a 13-year-old bride and nobody would bat an eye.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah, because you would not do well in a time like that.
Yeah, how do you get caught as a criminal? Like when I was reading about this crime, it just made me think, like, before forensics and
eyewitness
surveillance is
all eyewitness.
Yeah, like if you would have to, I mean,
that you could get so many people got away with crimes back then.
So easy.
You can't get away with crimes now. You just can't.
Yeah, there'd have to be like 10 witnesses. You have to do it in front of people in order to get caught.
Yeah,
And so they took him to the store. Charlie starts crying. His senses start going. If he's a 4-year-old kid, he's a smart kid. Unfortunately, this is the end of Charlie Ross.
Yeah.
So we didn't know what he was going to become.
Yeah.
But at the time, supposedly he's crying. And this
Of
is all
course.
recounted by his brother,
Walter.
who tells a story later. And Charlie starts crying, saying, I want to get home. They say, we're going to take you to Aunt Susie's house.
Okay.
But first, we're going to
Aunt Susie doesn't exist, though.
No, Aunt Susie's just a fictional character. These two kids sound like the stupidest two fucking kids.
Yeah.
Because what they do is they give Walter, they stop by the cigar store that has firecrackers in the window, and they say, Walter, go get us some firecrackers and get some torpedoes for your little brother here. The kid's 4. He shouldn't
4
be
years
shooting off fucking firecrackers.
Yeah.
And I think the father actually was out getting sand for them to shoot the firecrackers into.
Sand?
Yeah.
Or sandies?
No sand. So he could safely shoot the firecrackers into on the 4th of July. But he shouldn't have been letting these kids play with firecrackers at 4 and 5 years old. But it was 1874.
1874, nobody cared. Let's be honest, your life expectancy was about 25.
Yeah,
so.
and everyone lived life without a helmet at that time.
It's just what it is.
So this is how stupid the guys are, though. They let Walter out to go buy the firecrackers, and then they leave and take Charlie. But they fucking let a witness go, right? And one of the guys got a syphilis nose.
Right.
So eventually, they identify the guy. So anyway, they take Charlie. Walter gets picked up by this guy. I think his name was Mr. Peabody or some shit, who was a neighbor in a Kensington area, whatever. Anyway, he gets brought back home. Christian Ross, the father, finds out, asks, "Has anyone seen my son?" And neighbor says, "I saw him in the carriage with two guys." Then he starts to get a little worried, and then the ransom notes start. And these ransom notes,
they're hilarious.
These kids are so fucking stupid. I mean,
it sounds like Zach Isis wrote them. They are not spelled correctly.
No, it looks like it's on our Patreon.
It literally looks like it's on our Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go, you can.
Can we read one, Zachy? Can you blow one up?
Yeah. Well, you can go to where one's transcribed.
Yeah, because you can't even it's fucking illegible.
Yeah. Can you pull one up, Zachy?
Zach, yeah. Of course, Zach, we had to have we had this locked and loaded 45 minutes ago, but now it's just, it's just what it is. It's just the hyena part of history hyenas. Charlie Ross's hairstyle was fucking wild too.
Because you cannot get Charlie Rose out of your
perm
head.
like my Aunt Eileen.
You cannot get Charlie Rose out of your head.
Yeah, I keep saying, because Charlie Rose.
Yes, Charlie Ross. Little baby Charlie Ross. So this captured national attention. I mean, it was a national story. The police, this is the first time they're dealing with something like this. Credit to the Philadelphia Police Department, and also shout out Smithtown Water.
Shout out Smithtown Water. Shout out Germantown Water.
Yes, but because the police in Pennsylvania, Philly back then, they kind of understood. They were prescient, and they knew that, hey, we don't want to succumb to these kidnappers because this will set a precedent, and then everyone's kids will be getting kidnapped, and that's the problem with kidnapping is like you can't give into it.
Yeah,
because then it's just criminals are going to go like, this is the way you get paid.
And they wanted $20,000, which you're like, oh, okay, like for your kid, you could pay that. But inflation back then, that would mean they really wanted the equivalent of $400,000.
$400,000. Yeah. So make no mistake, after your Comedy Central deal, you would have been able to pay it.
I would have been able to pay it. Yeah. And or Joe Rogan could have just do one ad on his podcast and pay it.
Yeah. Because make no mistake, if you're a $25 member on our Patreon, you know exactly how much Chris made last year.
Yeah.
You remember you said it on a Patreon. Yeah.
Why did I say it?
Because you live your life 2 beers in and you blacked out.
它就是它的本质。
There's one thing that you got from Catholic school, and that's you learned the ability to black out.
To black out and block out.
Yeah.
Because do we have the ransom note?
Because we got ISIS on the
Zach
wheels of
not
steel.
have it?
Stop getting confused with the keyboard and your fingers.
Yeah.
Right here, the part that's highlighted.
Okay.
There you go.
Mr. Ross, ROS. So this guy can't say Mr. Ross either. Maybe I'm the one who kidnapped him. Be not uneasy, you son Charlie Brewster. Be all right. WRIT, we has got him, and no powers on earth can deliver out of our hand. Yeah, that's full-blown Zach Isis.
I mean, this kid is full-blown Franks and Beans.
This is a Franks and Beans fucking it. That wasn't probably Moisha.
Yeah.
That was probably Douglas.
Let's just say that Charlie Ross got kidnapped by Franks and Beans.
Yeah. Then the second letter, that was excerpt from the first letter. Then the second letter asked for ransom. This letter moved the rock that hides him. This is the lever, Lever, that moved the rock that hides him from you, $20,000, not $1, DOLER, less, LES, hyphen, impossible, hyphen, impossible. You cannot get him without it. The sum of $20,000 in 1874 was the equivalent of about $400K.
Yeah, neither one of these guys were sticklers for spelling or grammar.
But also I read something that they think that it could have been they were doing this deliberately to try to throw people off to make them think that they were stupid.
Yeah, it could be that too.
Could be that too.
I do think generally they were fucking stupid kids.
They were stupid kids. Now,
you don't let a witness go. Why would you not kidnap both the kids? They probably like, I don't want to take care of both of them, boss. One of them was the guy who was like, hey, boss, and the other guy, you think Moshe was the
I think Moshe was
brains?
The screwed in one that was like, here's what we're going to do. This
but Moshe had syphilis in his nose, so he was fucking stupid
I thought Douglas had syphilis in his nose.
I think it was Moshe that had syphilis in his fucking nose. I can't remember.
That's gross.
It was Moshe, yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, which means Moshe loves toots.
Maybe Moshe didn't have syphilis on his nose. He just had a big Jew nose, and that's what they called it back then. Because we need a way shot.
I mean,
Zach.
Wei Song Xian.
Thank you. I mean, the fact
that one even took me aback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that Zach didn't press it immediately, I was just trying to test Zach. I did not mean what I said. I was just kidding to test Zach, and Zach is worse than me.
Yeah, this may be the first episode where we just have to censor ourselves and cackle a few parts out.
Okay, fine.
Chrissy is unbridled right now. Chrissy is a horse with no saddle, and you are wild horses.
I'm wild. Okay, so Charlie Ross gets kidnapped. Walter's just fucking running around. He doesn't know what to do. He tells the pops. They go to the police. The police say, don't worry, this kid's going to show up, because they don't even know what a kidnapping is back then. They have no... This is so new to the police.
Yeah, they're probably saying, hey, there's a couple of neighbors probably took him. Maybe their horse and buggy broke down, but he probably just getting him some ice cream, and they're probably just, hanging out, and he's just reading stories to him.
They said most likely, like, if knowing him, he's probably down by the river with a hoagie. It's Tuesday, so he could maybe it's Philadelphia cream cheese watching the Eagles fly. So don't worry about it. He's going to come back. Days go by. Obviously, the father starts to panic. Then these ransom notes start to come in, and then we know we got a big problem.
Yeah, and this is how you know these kids are stupid, because they were sending the notes, from Philadelphia.
Right.
And elsewhere, but it was all in the immediate area. So they knew where the guys were.
Right.
They just couldn't find them, because back then, I mean, it's just like, how do you know? You go by witnesses. I mean, it's like, It's like I saw him with two guys. I don't know.
I know one of them had a syphilis nose. The other one was an idiot.
Yeah. So the thing is, the Ross family, this is why I think they're so stupid. The Ross family was not that wealthy. They owned the store. I mean, you're not making that much money if you own a dry goods store, right? But they also lost a lot of money and were heavily in debt due to the stock market crash of 1873.
It was a bad day.
So they didn't have a lot of money. So Christian probably couldn't even pay the ransom if he wanted to. But anyway, this kidnapping becomes national news. At first, the police are like, should we keep it quiet?
But national news takes a while back in those days. Obviously, remember, there's no TV, there's no nothing. So, like, circulating around newspapers, like, it was big, it was national, it was huge news in Philadelphia, but right in New York City, until it became national news, nobody even knew to look for this kid.
Right.
So Charlie Ross, even if he was, nowadays, something like that happens, immediately the whole world is notified, look for this kid, and that child most likely will be found eventually. But this time, it's like he could have been all the way up, he could have been the next town over, and they don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and like the great Patrice O'Neill pointed out, they'll look really hard if it's a white kid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the funniest bits. It's a really fucked up thing, and it's true.
Yeah.
And it's racist. It's like, if it's a white kid, I mean, they send the Marines, they send the Coast Guard, they send detectives, they send local and federal state police. They put and then Patrice goes, remember those 4 football players went missing or whatever? He says they were in a boat and they went missing. He goes, they just went down and just looked like this, left and right. And they're like, all right, we don't see them. And then the whole Natalie Holloway bit, Holloway. And they were like, what's the name of it? He goes, because the girl who got killed by that serial killer and not a serial, I guess he was a serial killer.
Johan Vandersloot?
Johan Vandersloot, whose brother's is a comedy manager, which is fucking wild.
Agent for UTA.
Yeah. He's an agent now. He killed Natalie Holloway, but he also killed like 14 South American and otherwise. And he asked the audience, Patrice goes, what's the girl's name that that Vandersloot killed? And the whole crowd goes, Natalie Holiday. And he goes, oh yeah, and what's the other Venezuelan girl he killed? And then nobody says anything. He goes, exactly.
Yeah.
He goes, you know that big-headed third world bitch? Yeah, so it was a white baby. So they put in there was flyers handed out, posters printed showing his likeness, even a popular song got written.
Do we get the lyrics to the song?
By Dexter Smith and W.H. Brockway, entitled Bring Back Our Darling. And so this was really a national story. You can't find it. Zach can't find the song.
No, Zach found it. Yeah, I want to sing it.
Okay, so Chris is going to sing. This is Bring Back Our Darling by Dexter Smith and W.H. Brockway.
While we're waiting for it to zoom in, I'll just start off. I'll warm up my vocals.
Yeah.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble.
Chris, will you take my cloak upstairs?
Tremble.
Bring back. We have to do communion, Chris.
I don't want to.
I love, first of all, say hello to your Aunt Eileen for me and Lynn. And I really think you have a lot of potential. You're doing well in CYO. St. Matthias is in 4th place.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always going to be 1 or 2 black teams, visitations in first always.
Always, yeah.
But for a mostly white team in Ridgewood, Queens,
yeah,
you're a star.
Doing well. And your father, I'm happy to see him at some of the games as opposed to being at the OTB racetrack gambling away your mother's money.
Now, Chris, go upstairs and get me my communion.
No, my cloak.
My cloak.
Get me my cloak.
Give me my cloak, Chris.
Get me my cloak. And wrap it around my hot cock. All right, are we here?
Is something coming back though? Did you feel something?
Yeah.
When you were at Matthias this weekend, did you feel it? Was it coming back?
I was at St. Matthias this weekend. I went to Easter Sunday Mass.
Yeah, I know.
My daughter.
I know you were. I can always tell when you're in Ridgewood because I get a few wild texts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of them have a wall in it.
Yeah, it's just what it is. Because I think Game of Thrones so far is stupid.
Yeah, it's
the third episode's going to be nuts.
I like Game of Thrones and I enjoyed both episodes.
You like both, but it's just all setups right now.
Yeah, well, I'm at a point in my life where I appreciate dialogue. I know you're still a young kid and you want things to explode.
Yeah, I want things to explode, but now that the White Walkers, the last scene of them is them coming to fight, and Zach said it's the biggest fight scene in history.
Yeah.
It's going to be for episode 3.
Oh, wow. Okay, Chris is going to sing Bring Back Our Darling.
All right, you ready?
Start here.
Because we couldn't find the song. It was written in 1874.
In our home garden, we had a sweet bud that promised to blossom in love. Listen to hear the sweet tones of his voice. We watch for his bright smiling face.
You have zero singing talent.
Father in heaven, please hear thou our prayer. Pray soft in the hearts of those men. Deep had its tendrils grow into our hearts. We brought our father.
Because there's no way this would have been a hit in 1874.
Yeah.
This is what the world would be like without black guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we need black guys.
Well, I don't know how to sing. I don't know
black
what music
people.
Notes mean.
Because just white people's songs are fucking stupid.
They're fucking stupid.
This song is fucking stupid. The lyrics are fucking stupid. We just need black people.
Yeah, we do.
Because I would love to. hopefully fucking Timbaland does a remix of this.
Yeah, that's all we need. It would sound great if T-Pain did the voice synthesizer and did it.
That would be nice. So that was the dumb story.
Song.
Yeah. So anyway, obviously Christian Ross and his wife are highly distressed. Christian, the father of Charlie, as time goes on, writes a memoir about it 2 years after the kidnapping because he wants to raise money to continue looking for his son. Both of them basically dedicated the rest of their lives trying to find Charlie.
Right.
And they both died trying and broke.
People, the frustrating part is what most people believe is he was probably killed immediately, either accidentally or on purpose, and his body was just never found because just can't find it. But a lot of people kept coming forward throughout the next 40, 50, 60 years claiming I'm Charlie Ross, because there was a large sum of money to be inherited, I believe, from his family. Right?
What happened? You need some water?
I just got choked up a little bit. I was just thinking about Father Bill.
Yeah, what was that? What just happened? What happened? Was that emotion? Wait, that was a really funny moment. What the fuck was that? Because that was a real Irish. Did an emotion come up and it just snuck up through the push down?
It just snuck up
past your triceps. One got past your triceps.
Yeah. No, it's from. It was. I've.
You just needed water.
I just needed some water.
Shout out to the Smithtown Water Department.
Shout out.
So, they kept searching. 570 boys, like Chris was saying, claimed to be Charlie Ross.
570?
570 all claimed to be Charlie Ross for some weird reason. They all proved to be imposters. In 1924, newspapers began running stories about the case to sort of commemorate the 50th anniversary of the abduction. The Charlie Project now is a database that has that lists all the missing kids, so it's all in one place, and that came from that, came from this, and it's named after baby Charlie Ross. His brother Walter Ross just ended up growing up and becoming a stockbroker. And they also had 3 sisters, and they all continued to receive letters from middle-aged men claiming to be his brother. The one guy who actually claimed he was and was able to get his name legally changed to Charlie Ross in 1934 was a guy named Gustav Blair.
Right.
And at the time, he was a 69-year-old carpenter living in Phoenix, and he petitioned the court to have the court recognize him as Charlie Rose.
Right.
He claimed that he remembers he was abducted when he was 4. Then he lived in a cave for a little while.
Right.
And was eventually adopted by a man. And that man told him he was Charlie Ross or whatever. But his brother, the real Charlie Ross's brother, Walter, dismissed it and said, it's another fucking bullshit thing.
Another bullshit thing.
And he's like, Walter was like, hey, my brother's not alive, man, and he'll never be found, and that's what it is. But legally, Blair's claim was uncontested, and he changed his name to Charles Ross in 1939, and he continued to say that he was the Charlie Ross until his death. It's interesting because they say when kids get kidnapped, especially young or whatever, you start to forget who you are, and and you forget who your parents, and you change, and the trauma kind of changes you.
Right.
So we never know if Charlie Ross ended up living as someone else, or if he died. We just don't know.
And we'll never know. That's the thing. You'll never know.
We'll never know. But here's where the story gets fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And involves the Bay Ridge Boys, Chrissy Cackles, Chrissy Salmons, and fucking Fetty Feta Cheese.
Yeah. Should we fucking be screwed in juice right now and say, if you want to hear the Bay Ridge part, go to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. It's a bonus.
Wow.
Or do you want to just do it now?
Cuz how long are we in?
We're 46 minutes in, but we still got to read the Patreon members.
Yeah.
And we got our three or four sponsors.
So yeah, I like that idea. We're gonna go back to just for this one episode. We're gonna do it Jim Serpico style in honor of the bread that he's baking.
Yeah,
and we're gonna. If you want to hear where the story gets interesting and how it relates to me and Chrissy right now,
listen to and let me just go ahead, finish. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if you want a surefire way to get fired as a manager or an agent, just start putting up pictures of the bread you're baking. And then we'll say, see you never.
Jim, if you listen to this, Chris said that I didn't. You're fucking wild.
I'm just wild. We know we all love Jimmy Serps. He's the man.
Yeah, we're just joking.
We're kidding around.
We're totally joking.
He's doing great.
The bread looks delicious. And
Patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys to hear how Bay Ridge ties into the Charlie Ross story. I'm screwed in Jew right now. Let me just stretch my legs out. My knees hurt because I've been throwing hands.
Yeah, cuz.
So
you're wearing sweatpants today.
Well, they're Lululemon sweats. These are $180, these sweatpants. And I went with Sal Volcano, and he convinced me that you got to pay for comfort. So I bought too many. I spent too much money on sweats.
Yeah, well, before you read the Patreon, shouldn't we shout out our sponsors?
Let's shout out our sponsors. Do you have them locked and loaded?
Well, you start with the Patreon, and I'll lock and load the copy.
What do you, start reading the Patreon.
Yeah,
numbers.
read some fucking names.
So when you join our, if you guys don't know, when you are become valuable members of the Patreon, we read your name out. The first week you join, we read your name out. If you went to patreon.com/ByRidgeBoys and welcome you to the matriarchy. So we got a lot of them, so I'm gonna have to go quick.
Yeah.
We got Liz M.
Liz M. How you doing, Liz?
How you doing, Liz? Courtney, who spells it Cortney.
She's gonna get cracked open and cleaned up by Chrissy D.
That's what it is. Logan Melville.
What's up, Logan Melville?
Alan Whitewalker, Def Nut, Muzzy Vila.
PPW.
Yeah. Parker, one name.
Yeah.
Kelly Oliveri, who's a piece.
Parker, thank you.
Oh, this
Kelly
is a big one. Thank you, Kelly. This is a big one. Tanks, good news. Tank Sinatra.
Tank Sinatra joined the Patreon?
Thank you. Yeah, Tanks, our fucking guests are joining the Patreon now. So what's your excuse, you fucking toot?
Yeah. Patreon.com/BayRidgeBoys.
Keith Reeves.
Keith Reeves, that's a black kid.
It's a black kid. And then, really quick.
We got a lot because we missed him last week.
John Cloak.
John Cloak. I mean, what are you, a bad guy in a John Wick movie?
Nick Medlin.
Nick Medlin. Wow.
Ron D. Paradise. D-Paradise.
I know that kid. He posted a video. He's from Australia. He posted a video calling himself a cuties with a smoothie with his Australian accent. It was hilarious.
Nicole Cumming T, who will get cracked the fuck open and clean the fuck out.
Is that her screen name?
No, but it's just Nicole Cumming T, but she put in parentheses, cum-in-t.
PPW. And yeah, I mean, your dreams could become reality because Chris is a hyena.
Leonard Ovite, Ovaitte, who's a $25 member.
Thank you for your service. I'm saluting right to the camera. Say that name one more time. He deserves it.
Leonard Ovite.
Leonard Ovite, we appreciate. You're our Harvey Weinstein, which means you get to crack open and clean out Zach Isis.
Erica Estrello, who is another fucking piece. Holy shit.
¿Qué pasa, mi gente?
Tony H, parentheses, Croatian, it's what it is.
It's what it is. Croatian, gesimala, dobre, kako
PPW. Kwesi, 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 Concom, Kankam. This is one of Zach Isis' friends.
Yeah.
What's up, cuz? You're a Muzzy Cuzzy? Welcome. Jamie Silas.
Jamie Silas?
Yes, Silas.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to meet Chrissy.
Brianna, another fucking piece.
Hey, my name's Brianna. I'm a senior at Mississippi State, and I just love to meet Chris DiStefano and sit in his lap.
Jake Salisbury. He's got a picture of him with his dog.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, he's a $25 member.
Jake, what's up, man? We just want to thank you for being a $25 member, and fucking we're going to do beer bong hits at your house, dude. If your parents are out of town, yeah.
Thanks. Mackenzie.
Hey, my name's Mackenzie, and I fucking love buying clothes on Poshmark.
Yeah. Kayla Barnett.
Wow, we are a white girl festival today.
Yeah. This is Coachella.
Wait, is that those three names? Kenzie, Michaela, and
Kayla.
You
Kayla
three?
Barnett.
You, Kayla, Mackenzie, and
Brianna.
Brianna need to fucking meet each other on the Patreon board, our community board, where fans talk to each other, and you need to fucking just get white together.
Yeah, just post the benefits of like why oat milk is actually better than almond milk.
Yeah, and you need to just meet each other and just have a fucking wine date.
Like, have a wine date.
Go get crazy. Get a burger.
Here we go. Here's one of your guys. Georgiopoulos.
Yes, Georgie, your mommy's upstairs and the daddy's in the restaurant, baby.
Yeah. Patty Potato Nuts Cleese.
Yeah, good
Cleese.
Irish. He's a good fucking Irish kid.
Potato Nuts.
You're a good fucking kid.
John Cloak.
No, you already said John Cloak. I said he was a bad guy in a John Wick movie because I don't remember the fucking
Oh, sorry. Well, that's it. Those are our Patreon members.
That can't be it.
Paxton Colby.
On Paxton Colby.
Listen, hey, Paxton, you need to call Kelby and Mackenzie, and you guys need to put on your boat shoes, and Mackenzie, you put on your fucking pearl earrings, and you can guys go have a drink in a boat on the water. Yeah, because you guys are white wasps.
Do we have the sponsors?
Because we have the sponsors. Listen, we're an innovative podcast. Like we said, you guys love us and you support us, and we appreciate that. So this podcast is brought to you, as it's been brought to you now for 2 weeks, by 9th Street Auto Collision.
Fuck yes.
They are out there on the island, Chrissy, where your dreams could have came true.
Yeah.
We are.
Are they out in Levittown? Because that's what my mother always hoped I would end up in.
No, they're not out there. They're out there in Huntington.
Oh, they're in Huntington. Is that close to Smithtown Water Department?
I don't know where Smithtown Water is, but Huntington Water's department's got good water.
Got good water.
So
Okay,
shout out. This podcast is brought to you by 9th Street Auto Collision. They are located at 133 West Hills Road, Huntington Station, New York, 11746. He's giving me the zip code if you want to send him a fucking love letter.
It's just what
or
it
a
is.
ransom note.
Yeah.
They're a family-owned business. They've been doing it for 20 years.
20 years?
They're not fucking new to the game, Chris. They've been doing it for fucking 20
Wow.
years. They do great body work, and they give everyone a deal. Remember, they'll take a little something off the top. If you say history Hyenas, they say that you'll get cracked open and cleaned out.
Go Yankees.
They'll basically crack open and clean out your car.
Okay, who's
So
next?
They work with all insurance companies, and they also do towing. You can call them at 631-351-5300. That's 631-351-5300. Go get your car towed or cracked open and cleaned out. 9th Street Auto Collision.
Go ahead.
Now, did we get this guy to send his copy yet?
Who?
Yeah, it's in the Patreon messages.
What's his name?
Charles Wagner.
Finally, Charles Wagner.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is our new spawn. Well, and also, why don't we
This is the CBD kit. You want to read this one? I got it queued up, so I'll just
Charles
read it.
Wagner right here. Yep.
Go ahead, Chrissy.
Okay. So the name of the brand, it's CBD Script. They're a premium CBD company owned and manufactured by Silver Laboratories. All of the products are 100% real and full spectrum. All of their products are 100% THC free. Sorry, no fun, but it works great. They have topicals, tinctures, vape carts, gummies, and amp, edibles, water additives. Manufactured on Long Island, New York. They're out on the island.
Wow.
CBD is good for anxiety, depression, arthritis, back pain, epilepsy, autism, general well-being, and nicotine withdrawal. They have a CO2 extracted organic CBD, no hexane, heptane, butane, or other toxic solvents. That's CBD Script. It's manufactured by Silver Laboratories. Do they have a website? Or is it just CBD Script? SCRIP. Just Google CBD Script.
They didn't give us a website?
What's the website?
CBDscript.com.
Okay, go to cbdscript.com. That's cbdscrip.com.
Yeah, they should do like some promo codes for our listeners. So
Yeah.
ISIS, tell them to hit us up with some promos so our listeners can get some discounts on some CBD oil. Chrissy takes CBD oil and sticks it in his ass. He's definitely
Yeah.
going to be buying it from you.
Yeah.
So thank you to our new sponsor and we're also brought to you as always by A Healthy Smile Family and Cosmetic
Always.
Dentistry. That's A Healthy Smile Family and Cosmetic Dentistry down there in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Yeah.
It's at Healthy Smile Rock Hill on Instagram. And they are a state-of-the-art dental practice with next generation gaming for kids. And Lee Harvey Spencer Jr. will crack open your teeth and clean them out. Cause I need a falafel.
Yeah.
So, A Healthy Smile Family and Cosmetic Dentistry in Rock Hill, South Carolina. You can follow them at A Healthy Smile Rock Hill on Instagram, and you can go to their website. They have a website. It is www.ahealthyhappysmile.com in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Lee Harvey Spencer, we love you.
Yeah. And then Vashtura Rajpaka,
Yeah.
who live from the sandbox.com.
I can't believe he changed his website.
He's going to be
today.
opening for me, hopefully, if we can get in touch on June 24th, 25th at the Soho Theater in London. He's a comic from Berlin. He's got albums out. He's got his podcast out. Go to livefromthesandbox.com. Livefromthesandbox.com. Vidura Rajpaka, thank you for your service.
Yeah, and if you want to become a $100 member, we will. You'll become a sponsor of our podcast, and we will read your ad on our podcast like we just did. So we appreciate all of our sponsors. We're hoping for more. Also, me and Chrissy are going to send those videos we owe you, and we're also going to post them on our own accounts. We thank you guys. We thank you for a service. If you want to hear more about Charlie Ross, head over to our Patreon.
Patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys to hear how Bay Ridge ties in to the Charlie Ross situation in case, and it's a fucking doozy. I'm going to go suck a dick, and Jan's going to get some shawarma and some water.